Whether you're a die-hard fan or just looking for a good laugh, this monthly series promises to deliver the unexpected with a dash of humor. Tune in as Gene and BT dissect the what-the-fuck moments that makes pro wrestling the exciting spectacles they are. It's time to let loose and embrace the madness with the WTF News Desk, where Gene and BT bring you the 10 strangest and most fun topics each month, leaving you entertained, amused, and eagerly awaiting the next episode.
Hey, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPOD .club production. That's right. It's episode 1090. 1090, can you believe it? And episode 99 of the WTF News Desk for June 2026. I'm alone again here this morning, this month. Gene took producer Smokey to the new Cat Cafe there in Gadsden, Alabama. He's supposed to be back before the end of the show, but, who knows about Gene? He has a lot of stuff going on. He's doing that ECW podcast. He's running that huge network. So I'm hoping he's here by the end of the show. We'll give you an update there at halftime. All right, real quick, what do we do at STSPod.club? Well, every Monday we reserve the right to air the Retro Wrestling Review Power Pro podcast. It streams on Saturday at 11 a.m., but I throw it up on my main feed at 2 p.m. on Monday. On Thursday, we do a special edition episode like Cassette Wrestling News, the WTF News Desk. Hit me with your first shot, Observing the Observer, 5-minute time limit. That's right. And the Countdown Wrestling Podcast. If you're watching this on Thursday when it is released, the video or listening to the audio, join us tonight for 5-minute time limit. And on Saturdays, we always do Rolling into Mempo. That's right. Remember, you can go to stspod.club, right-hand corner, counter, as we say in the South, and you can join our Patreon or any of our social media accounts are linked right there at the link of all links. And I talk about Patreon. We're doing a CWA Memphis Wrestler Review show. I started it with Gene, and we're all the way into the end of March, but Steve Crawford has joined me now, an old friend of mine, and it's good stuff. Good stuff with that. And we also do a Ride Along Ringside exclusive to Patreon. And it is me watching a show with someone, and we just either watch a show or we would just watch a match and we talk about it. And sometimes we just sit around and talk even over the match or under the match or whatever. Going to stspod.club in the right-hand corner, joining Patreon to get you all kinds of stuff, because on Patreon, not only do we do special episodes, but I do a B-side. So when I quit recording right here, I'll do a B-side, and I say stuff on that I would not say anywhere else. All right, let's do some business real quick. Best month, June of 2026 for audio plays. Everything else was pretty steady with the norm. I expected us to do, this is almost what I expected us to do last 2 years, just a smooth ride. And here's the top 3 episodes. Hit Me With Your First Shot, episode 9. It was episode 1075. It was all about OU812 by Van Halen. I was joined by a very old friend that I met in high school. Number 2 was the Retro Wrestling Review Power Pro podcast, episode 8, or that's episode 1077. And number 1, Retro Wrestling Review Power Pro Wrestling podcast, the longest title for a podcast that we have, episode 9, and that was episode 1080. Thank you to everyone that's been watching the streams on the Power Pro. You do this podcast and stuff we're going on 10 years in February, and you think, man, we've seen all the stream numbers we can see. We've seen all the, it's not. All of a sudden, you start doing a new show that everybody jumps on to see. And thank you. I also want a big thank you out to Ringside News. That's Ringside News on Twitter. It's at Ringside News and then _. I grab a lot of stories from there, and I've used some of their audio that they get from other podcasts. And I also use their, I guess, covers, or if you're watching a video, you'll see stuff pop up when I'm going over one of the numbers. So, hey, let's get started. We're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After halftime, I got a couple of guests coming on halftime. Remember, this is June, so we're discussing stuff that happened in June. Just want to make a note of that because at halftime, some stuff has happened since then that's changed what we're talking about. Number 10, there's something strange in the neighborhood. Yeah, I wanted to play this clip that I thought that Jim Cornette and Brian Last covered this. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about it.
And guess who don't have to go to court? Because guess who's going into arbitration? Vince McMahon et al., the WWE, both these cases just were imminently about to come up, and suddenly, magically, it's magically, deliciously gone away. Did they finally just say, all right, we're as close as we want to get to fucking actually going on a stand with any of our lion asses? How many hundreds of millions of dollars do you people want?
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of trouble if they put Vince McMahon or Nick Khan on the stand right now under oath. They'd be in a lot of trouble. And again, there's no coming back from the judge saying that it's going to be a proven fact unless you could disprove it in the case that you destroyed evidence. And then because of that, all of these things will be assumed as being true. And every one of those things that were assumed to be true hurt the Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, TKO side of it. So they had every incentive on settling. And it appears that what that settlement did, and that's not final. We haven't heard a final decision on anything, just that they have a preliminary agreement maybe. But that caused the Janelle Grant case to all of a sudden go to arbitration, where Janelle Grant's team is all of a sudden not against the arbitration, which they've been fighting since day one.
Yeah.
Clearly, they thought a lot more stuff was about to come out in this trial for the shareholders. And once that went away, I'm not going to say it hurt their hand, but their hand isn't as strong, I would say.
Well, and at the same time, there is obviously an element.
Perfectly. I thought both of those guys were telling us exactly what was going on. And number 10 is something strange. It's just weird that they dropped the allegations. We go directly into this Janelle that would not do any kind of arbitration, nothing. All of a sudden, her lawyers say, okay, we'll do that. We'll go ahead and do that. The investigation, federal investigation, whether Vince McMahon concealed misconduct or not and related payments, it's kind of over, except what we decide to do with Janelle Grant. I thought this was all really strange in the sense that it all happened at once. They were waiting to the last freaking minute on this, the last minute, and then said, boom, And then Janelle Grant's case then said, okay, let's do it. Let's do arbitration. So that will be what happens when Vince and Vince's lawyers, her lawyers sit there. I don't know if they're going to be president or not, but they're going to decide how much money goes to this Janelle Grant. Be interested. Very strange stuff going on. Number 9. What the fuck, Dave? What the fuck? Every time here on WTF, we take number 9 to talk about Dave Meltzer. He stated something in the Observer. I find when someone says greatest match ever, I know it's objective, but when a guy like Dave, who has so much, I guess, power, when he says something like this, I just shake my head, because you have to go into a whole, I mean, how many matches has there been? The build up for matches, he crapped on Hogan Rock, and I thought that was probably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever. So he said AAA presented arguably the greatest match, I can't talk, in its history, and perhaps even in WWE's history, with the mask versus mask match. What do you guys think? I was like, what the fuck? That's the greatest match ever? It was good. The presentation was good. The match was good. Greatest match ever in the history. Don't know when he says stuff like that. And I'm going to play a little bit of this video going into the WTF here. Let's listen to this with Dave and I believe Brian Alvarez.
Sometimes when you switch sides, you kind of flounder, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you go like, was it the right decision?
Let's look at where Ciampa is, and let's look at where Johnny Gargano is right now.
Oh, God, is that scary?
I mean, I got to give whatever Gargano's making to lay there on that box every week. I mean, good for him, but
I don't think that's
they're in a very different place wrestling wise.
I don't know if that's what he wants his career to be, but you're in WWE and that's what happens. But man, Ciampa wasn't doing anything in WWE at all.
No,
and he's a great. That's the other thing is like. I don't think people really get that the idea that like, oh, you say these matches in AEW are better, and it's like it's not even necessarily the guys are better, although there are guys in AEW that are absolutely fantastic. But look at Ciampa, perfect example, right? He has
This is where I totally disagree with Dave and Brian on this. Gargano is having just as good of a career as Ciampa to me, because what? He's just sitting there. I'm not sure some of these guys, I really want people to understand that some of these guys enjoy what they're doing. Sometimes you see all this stuff where they're, oh, I hate it that they're using him like that. Gargano may absolutely love that. Just because Ciampa's having matches doesn't make his push better. He came in, won a title, lost title. I don't know what they do at AEW. I really don't. The booking's all over the place, and they have so many belts, and I just don't know what's going on with the way they do things. But Gargano's being featured every week on Raw, the #1 wrestling show in America. So, yes, he's still being pushed. You guys got to get that. And I'm surprised that after all these years that Dave and Alvarez are all about matches. If they're having matches and good matches, then they're doing better than they did. He said the same thing about Phoenix a couple of times. All right, number 8. I might not know it all, but I know more than you. Well, we first had this tweet with NoDQ.com, WWE, and AEW News, and that's at NCDQDCT.com. You can see it on the screen for watching the video. Triple H says that the fucking complaining from WWE fans on the internet is not real life. The internet's not real life, and the bitching and the fucking complaining that is there is not real life. You can read the internet and it'll sound like this thing is dead. I'll use Cody Rhodes, for example. Cody's already jumped the shark. He's dead as a babyface. He goes, really? I don't know. I'm in an arena with 10 to 15,000 people every night going ape shit crazy, but we've already, and the merchandise is crazy, but on the internet, it says we kind of just jumped the shark. He went on to say, whatever you want to say on the internet, that's the golden rule. It's just your opinion of a few people. He went on to say, just shut up. Watch the show. Dave came back, Meltzer did, with letting us know what he thought about what was said. And guess what? It's usually me, putting up something I totally disagree with on Twitter. I gotta agree with Dave here. Dave goes ahead and says, well, he's right about Cody. He sees all the complaining, the box office. It doesn't matter. They did the same thing. He doesn't say this, but I'm going to say he did the same thing with Cena. But Dave says you can't dismiss some of the criticism. Okay, I agree with Dave here. I don't think it's your WCW. I don't even think it's close. If you look at the numbers, you look at the stock, and we'll talk about that later a little bit. These guys are still number one. WWE still number one, guys. Still number one. The whole thing with complaining, I agree with Triple H on that. You got to have people and you got to listen to some of the complaining, but Jesus Christ, you can't read everything on the internet and believe it and expect you to change direction from what a small percentage of people are saying. Just can't do it. It's done all the time. You get stuck in this place where you're trying to satisfy people, and it's not something that's a small amount of people. Internet's bigger now, and I understand you got to listen to opinion. I agree with that with Dave, but also I want you to shut the fuck up and just watch wrestling. Just watch the show. Do I like AEW? No. Do I watch AEW? No. I like WWE. There's some things I disagree with, but I just watch. That's all I do. Just watch it. Shut the fuck up and just watch it. All right? And that's coming from a guy who does podcasts and tells his opinion all the time. I get so sick as soon as someone wins a belt or something, Jey Uso's horrible, blah, blah, blah. He comes out and the whole crowd's eating still. All right, that was number 8. Now we're up to number 7, retro moment. We're going to go to JBL's podcast and we're going to do a retro moment. A retro moment with Jamie Dundee. They was interviewing PG-13. Let's take a listen.
I've never seen like one that big. You got a 12 of them.
I know. Is that priceless? Then a girl in a wheelchair one time. She was banged her in a wheelchair. I swear to God.
Was Vito there for that? He what?
No, Vito my daddy taught me. I was 17. He didn't tell you ever. It's South Coliseum in Memphis. When you came in the back door, it had a spring on it, remember? And it was slammed real loud. And the dressing room's right there. So I take the chick out back and I bang her in the chair because I'm a good dude like that. She was hot from the waist up. I was a good dude. I swear to God, she had them old little dead legs and stuff. And I I swear it's a true story. And I said, have you ever fucked? And she's like, no, because she buys my pictures every week. I'm like, you want to? She's like, well, I guess. I said, well, then roll your ass out back. So she went out here. She went out back. When we came in, she came in the handicap door. She was rolling a little bit in front of me. And I came in the back door and it slammed. My dad came to the edge of the fucking dressing room and he looked and that girl was rolling. And I swear to God, he goes, you just fucked her. And I go, no, I did not. He goes, bullshit, boy. She's rolling with pride. Look at that motherfucker dreaming like a motherfucker rolling that wheelchair. So I said, fuck it. I went toward all the rest. I said, look, I banged that girl in the wheelchair right there. Let it get. And listen, you can't go chase them from a particular wheelchair because they don't bang many people.
Oh, the one and only Jamie Dundee. Nothing to say on that one. I just wanted to play it. It's a retro moment. Also, we talked about Van Hammer last month here. They did talk to Pro Wrestling Stories. We've interviewed the guy there. He was 66 when he passed away on 4/18. His wife said he died jobless and alone. His ex-wife, I guess. He was autopsy listing. The official cause of death was complications of chronic ethobonism. I'm not sure what that is. I guess I should have looked it up. He had a laceration on his hand, 2 fractured ribs, and the evidence of long-term substance dependence in the liver. The cause of death was recorded as complications of chronic embolism. I will try to look that up before the end of the show. Maybe we can get Gene to come in and tell us what that is. Just want to update y'all on that. Sad story with Van Hammer. I was a fan. Can you believe that? By the way, on Retro Moment every month, we are going to take a moment to this is the retro episode that's not featured as a flashback episode. This is an episode that's getting the most plays on audio. And this month, it's Blade Boudreaux. That's right, Blade Boudreaux on episode 223. That's a retro episode, and that's our retro, well, I guess that's retro moments of June. All right, let's get up to number 6. Number 6, very interesting thing going on with, Killer Cross had some stuff to say. And I kind of want to do this as I say, what the fuck, kind of thing, because we always think Triple H is in charge. Let's listen to what Cross said. And we got Vince Russo and Jonathan Coachman here. But I wanted everyone just to listen to this.
We've got the clip loaded. Let's go ahead and try it one more time. This is Killer Cross with Ariel Helwani.
If I had to guess, I would say that there are people who call things in and he has to make the best of what they want to play out on television and the PLEs. Mm-hmm. That's just my guess. And I base that on pattern recognition. And that's a thing that has become very prevalent, especially with like Gen Z. When it comes to entertainment, if you're creating something episodic with continuity, when continuity fails, there's a red light that goes off. People go, what happened here? Especially with wrestling. Back in the day, you hear about guys on punishment booking. Well, suddenly this push is killed. And then you hear months later he got in trouble outside of wrestling, so they didn't feel like they could depend on him. Or he hurt somebody, he dropped somebody in the head or something. Now that there's new players involved, when there's a failure of continuity and people don't like it, it removes people from the suspension of disbelief, that entertainment. You know what I mean? I don't think that's him. He has his own patterns that I think were aligned with what the audience mostly wanted to see, and that's speaking as a person who used to work for him. And I knew when he could call all of his shots, and I had an idea of when he couldn't. And to me, this looks like a situation where he can't call all of his shots, and I don't mean that disrespectfully at all.
Wow. What's your take, Vince?
Yeah, my take was that's what the situation turned into. I would believe he had.
I got to agree with Vince here, and I did what the put this on What the Fuck because lots of people on the internet was like, you mean he's not in full charge? Part of this is it doesn't surprise me. We all got bosses, right? If you got a job, I don't have a job. You know, if you're listening to this, you want to hire me, reach out, DM. Something Killer Cross talked about was that back old school, you could do a storyline, and we found this doing the USWA Retro podcast. And you really don't finish the storyline, or some of the stuff doesn't even matter. You know, it's just weird. It's like, why did you include that? Or they just forget it totally. They have a tournament and we don't even know the result. In this day and age, if they don't follow the storyline and the ending of it, which Killer Cross is saying that everyone will voice their opinion, he's also seems like he's saying that if you see that happen, then it's probably the powers to be jumping around and telling him to do something different, right? That's what I'm thinking. What do y'all guys think about that? Was it a surprise that Triple H has a boss or a person that makes suggestions? And Russo might have been right. When he first got started, he probably was fully in charge. And then, you know, like always, when you do a merger or you do something, you know, you have people saying, well, we're not changing anything we're doing. We're just going to keep doing the same thing. It doesn't work that way. I worked for AT&T. Well, I worked for DirecTV. AT&T bought them, went through the whole process, and ended up losing my job because they weren't going to change anything they were doing. But, you know, mine was one of those that they changed. All right, guys, we're going to listen to some sponsors. And when we come back, y'all know what it is. You know what it'll be. Are you ready? Every Friday night, the heat rises in Arkansas. The lights go down, the crowd gets loud, and MCW takes over. This is live, hard-hitting, in-your-face action at the MCW Arena, West Kaiser in Osceola, Arkansas. Doors open at 6:30, bell time at 8 p.m. sharp. Rivals explode, bodies hit the mat, and the stars of MCW leaving all in the ring. This ain't just wrestling. This is MCW. Tickets on sale right now. Don't wait. Be part of the action. Follow MCW on Facebook for the latest updates. And be there every Friday night. Or hear about it later. Card subject to change.
Hey everybody, I'm Gene Jackson, and I want to introduce you to the Retro Wrestling Archive Podcast Network and the great pro wrestling nostalgia podcast we bring, including the Retro Wrestling Review Series covering the USWA, Memphis Power Pro Wrestling, Continental Championship Wrestling, and we've just added World Class Championship Wrestling, and now ECW. Plus great interview shows like Beyond Wrestling with Rob Hell, where the stories go beyond the ring. Then there's Dangerous Conversations with the legendary Dangerous Doug Gilbert and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Plus, don't miss special live streams like Live from the Archive and Arc of an Angle. And the Retro Wrestling Archive Network is growing. We're proud to feature the affiliate shows like STSPOD, The Hang, Classic Pro Wrestling Talk, Get Your Bell Rung, and even more great shows are coming soon. But that's not all. Join the Retro Wrestling Archive Patreon for exclusive bonus content, early podcast releases, special extras, and access to a Google Drive that is absolutely busting at the seams with territory wrestling history, including our legendary Memphis Mega Folder. Podcast, interviews, watch-alongs, live streams, YouTube, Patreon, territory wrestling history. It's all waiting for you at RetroWrestlingArchive.club, where we're preserving pro wrestling history daily. Don't just remember it, relive it.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live! Sunday, July 12th, TV legend James Ellsworth returns to Memphis Wrestling. Sunday, July 19th, It's KAW versus Memphis Wrestling, live at Ghost River Brewing Company on Main Street. Powered by Thrive MD Health Spa in Lakeland. Thursday and Friday, July 23rd and 24th. Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Kids Camp. Sunday, July 26th, it's Madonna Mania live at the Wrestle Center, benefiting Madonna Learning Center. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, we're ready for halftime. Gotta dance. Y'all no fun, man. Hey, this is unusual because I'm bringing somebody on for halftime. In the month of June, this is WTF News Desk, month of June, and as always, right smack in the middle before we do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we do halftime, and we talk about something current or bring out some controversial or what the hell. But I got a couple of guests. They made an appearance on Right Along Ringside. It'll be on Patreon only sometime because I don't know how many episodes I got in advance. But we're going to talk about something that happened in June, and I think this was the story that happened in June. We have a new world champion, and Sami Zayn wins it kind of out of nowhere. What did you guys think?
I was happy with it. I'm glad that they're. My biggest complaint about Sami Zayn's always been recently it's been how much of a whiny bitch he is, but it really boils down to he goes nowhere. There's no point in keeping up with him, and I'm glad that they finally pulled the trigger. I'm glad they finally pulled the trigger on giving him the world title and giving him something to do, because they did the exact same shit with Drew McIntyre. They dragged out a storyline for a year, and it was why would I care about the world title whenever I can go watch the world heavyweight title and it actually is a little more entertaining? Because, cool, you got your moment, give it back to Cody. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like the world title is coming down to.
It's Cody's belt. Is that yeah, and it kind of feels like that. It's kind of like Cody said it's okay to give it to Sammy for right now. I was kind of surprised when I woke up the next day to see the results, and even though if you watch the build up for it, they really are setting it up for him to win the title. If you're watching SmackDown every week, he's being Cody's friend, although he's not Cody's friend. But I guess no one's expected. And I saw two lines of thoughts. Part of the internet shit on it, and then part of them was happy for Sammy, who was, has been wrestling forever. And
those are the day ones that we're happy for him.
That's kind of like me. I was real happy. I mean, I know him and Kevin came up together in ROH, and then Kevin, has had the belt, and I was excited to see him win. But what do they do now?
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, I am a huge Sami Zayn fan. Me and Roach have argued about it in the past. Where, Roach hates on him, and I'm like, nah, whatever. And it's funny, about a month ago, we were talking, and we were having that original debate about Sami Zayn, and I was like, I said, honestly, I think Sami deserves, a title run, or, he deserves to get a title or something like that. And I don't remember, I don't think I had, mentioned him beating Cody, because I honestly don't think I didn't think they would do that. As I don't think I woke up and saw something on TikTok similar to what you said, BT. You saw something on your phone, you saw the results. When I saw that Sammy beat Cody, I was excited, but also they actually did it.
Yeah. I like the finish a lot, the way it came out of nowhere, where he rode him up, rode 1, 2, 3, and it was over. I'm a big fan of all three of those guys. I like Sammy a lot. I like Gunther, and I really like Cody. I like Cody babyface. I like Cody heel, but I don't like Cody with his wife. I mean, I'm serious. I can't stand her.
Is it because she's black?
No. It's just because she is. By the way, I saw her up close and personal when I was at when I was at All In at StarCast.
Yeah.
She is beautiful.
She's gorgeous, bro. Brandon
No,
Roach?
I'm talking. It's way beyond you would think. I mean, in person, she's like, you're just
Yeah.
like, what? What?
I'm a big fan of the African American Nightmare, dude.
Cody.
I'm just saying,
Wrecking
I'm
Road.
not, because she in AEW. I was a huge AEW fan at the time. Cody was there, and it was just horrible, the stuff that, because they just gave her full reign to do anything she wanted to. She was one of those people that you need to write the part for. Kind of like, I joked about John Moxley, but there's the kind of guys that you need to. Okay, let's don't put the hypodermic needle in someone's eyeball.
Yes.
Darby Allin's got to be one of those guys where you're like, Darby, maybe we don't go through 12 feet of glass this match.
Yeah. That's one of the CM Punk had the big fight with Jack Perry because he wanted to go through like a 6-inch glass, and I was like, man, what a fucking idiot,
Yeah. I mean, can we go one night without
y'all.
one of you needing stitches?
Did you guys both didn't watch the match, but found out about Sammy winning the title through like Instagram or something like that, right?
Right. Well, I went back and watched it, but I did see it I saw it on Twitter before I was watching it. So
I've seen a couple of the highlights, but I need to go back and watch the full match. I want to watch it just because, I mean, Sami Zayn's my boy. I got to see that.
the last couple minutes of it is a real good build, because since you already know it's fixing to happen or how it happens, you know. But if you were watching it as if live, you would have been just totally shocked. I mean, to see him win the belt.
See, I didn't get to watch the match live, but whenever I did watch it, I was very fucking pissed because the whole time I knew it was coming. And I'm not saying it was a bad build-up, but dude, I'm so fucking tired of Triple H just ruining everything on Instagram, bro. It's always him. Every time I haven't watched the match, it's him with the new champion like this. It pisses me off, dude.
Got to stay on social media, man. If you don't want spoilers,
you can like unfollow them. You don't have to.
It just gets auto.
You know, you don't have to look at Instagram, or you
it's
don't
just
have
so
to.
annoying every time, man. I hate.
One of my
Triple H
former
for that.
co-hosts used to say, "Have you watched the show yet?" And I go, "No." He said, "You ain't been spoiled yet?" And I'm like, "No, I make all my social media posts through another piece of software, so I don't actually go on to unless I want to look at porn. I mean, look at results." But yeah, I mean, it's so we're at the stage of this being recorded, and we're going to say only the stuff that's happened in June. So last night, kayfabe, last night, on Monday night, the 29th, we have the decision about who the next contender for Roman Reigns is. We will find out who the next contender or what they're going to do with Sammy upcoming this Friday night. But what do you do with him? Who do you put against him?
Man,
there's Cody. It's Cody's title. You got to give Cody a shot.
Yeah, I think to myself, I would try to feud him with somebody, that he hasn't worked in a while or something. It'd be fun to see Kevin show back up. So
something fresh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Kevin's really like the only one, but I don't know when he's coming back. I wanted her to come back a couple events ago. That would have been awesome, but he didn't.
I'll be honest. If
Gunther.
If we get like a surprise Kevin comeback against Sami Zayn, an old rivalry, like I would dig that. I would dig that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love something like that, but I'm not sure what and also the big deal is everybody saying, he won it over in Saudi Arabia, and it was meant a lot to him to win it over there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for halftime. And remember, you got to dance when I'm playing the music. Yeah. All right. I want to thank my buddies Roach and Atomic for coming on and doing halftime. They will do a Right Along Ringside with me. And guys, y'all are going to love this. These are young fans. and they just started recently watching wrestling in the last few years, and they never had seen a Bruiser Brody or Abdullah Butcher match, and we'll be watching it. We'll be watching it. Make sure you make sure on Patreon that you look for Right Along Ringside. So let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get out of here with some Patreon stuff. Smarks be acting crazy. That's number 5. Cody says that many wrestling fans do not understand the concept of no selling. When a wrestler appears unaffected by the opponent's offense, what's going on? They say he's not selling. It's not good. But they don't understand, he said, the overall point of what's going on in the match. He's got to no sell something, or he might make a mistake. It's something he wouldn't want to do, or they did it. They did it as part of the storyline. All right? If you mess up in a match, fans will say, "Oh, it's a botch. It's poor selling." You do not know everything that goes on in the match or why they did what they did. It may be part of the story. Smarks thought, "Oh, what's he talking about? We know more than him." Guys, you don't. I talk to Memphis wrestlers on, I want to say weekly basis, but if they have a good match, I'll reach out to them. And almost every time the wrestler will say, "Well, it would have been better if we'd got this spot in." So they really cannot tell what's going on. You cannot judge a match because they messed up. Guess what? They're going to mess up. It's crazy. It's crazy how people get upset about that. We talked about they be acting crazy. Well, Rhea Ripley revealed that during a live stream that someone found her personal phone number and text her after they couldn't get tickets to SmackDown. She talked all about there's no privacy anywhere when they're going. I just want to mention this, guys. Come on. Leave the wrestlers alone. If you got getting their personal phone number for a reason and you don't know them personally, there's something wrong with you. You be crazy. You're not acting crazy. You be crazy. All right? That was number 5. Number 4, let's talk about wrestlers behaving badly. Well. Let me just say something really quick. Well. I'm all about freedom of speech, say what you want, And let me just say I'm a huge fan of this guy. I just want to say to this guy, shut the fuck up. I don't care. So we're talking about Paul Walter Hauser. He criticized Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns was at the UFC White House event. If you've never watched Blackbird, it's on Apple. That's what it's on, Apple. Man, this guy, he's just excellent. He's also in Queen Pins, another solid movie. Good actor. He's in I, Tonya. I'm sitting here looking at some of the stuff I've seen him in. Blackbird's my favorite. He's also in Richard Jewell. Richard plays fantastic in that. But he plays wrestler too now. They list him as an actor wrestler. I don't know. For some reason, this guy, even though I like him as an actor, he just like pushes my button when he gets on there making comments, saying that, giving his opinion, political opinion why that Roman Reigns should not have showed up at the White House. Okay, so say what you will. It's the president. You can do what you want. Call Roman Reigns an actual dork, is what he said. Come on. Come on, Paul Walter Hauser. Come on. I called him Walker earlier. I'm not sure. Give it up. I wrote that as wrestlers acting, behaving badly. That was the worst thing that we seen this month for me. All right, number 3. Shock me. Wrestling shocking moments. Kind of sarcasm in there. We've been doing a lot of stuff with Tony Khan, but now we got something from Will Ospreay. He believes he's better in the ring than a lot of the WWE wrestlers on his worst day. He says he just never was a WWE guy. I respect it, respect the guys doing it. That schedule's crazy, and I commend them all for doing it. I just don't like it. I don't like the show. I don't like the style of wrestling. I don't like the presentation. The moment the bell rings, I think we're better than all of them. Honestly, on my worst day, I think I'm better than a lot of the guys in ring promo wise. You guys have a bunch of guys. Punk's sick. Roman is sick. There are still things that I need to catch up on. But in ring, I generally don't think there is anyone from that side that matches any of our guys. I'm going to say this again. I should change this episode to shut the fuck up. Man, Ospreay is a fantastic wrestler. I like watching Will Ospreay. But to think that you're better than the majority of WWE guys or AEW's got better than WWE guys, none of that makes any sense. I mean, you're looking at guys at the level of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. Overall, will be better wrestlers than Will Ospreay. What? But he's had how many 5-star matches? That does not matter. It's all about presentation. It's all about the end result. It's all about drawing a crowd. Many guys ahead of Will Ospreay on all that stuff. And if I was him, and that's the reason I put him in shock me. Wow, he thinks he's better. No kidding. There's so many people blowing smoke up his ass. And he's getting those 6-star matches. He thinks he's better than anybody. Come on, give it a break, Will. Big fan. Not a big fan of you being just egotistical. All right. Oh, that was number 3. WTF News Desk here in June of 2026. All right. Up to number 2, man, crazy stuff going on. Bully Ray, a lot of people said he was doing an angle, but he just went off pretty much calling John Moxley and the Death Riders. He called them frauds. He said he could whip John Moxley's ass anytime, any place. He could be doing it. Now, guys, if this ends up as a match, something where Bully Ray comes into AEW, then, hey, this was all an angle. But it was not an angle. It was just Bully Ray acting crazy on Busted Open. Could he beat up Moxley? Hey, there's a lot of people giving their opinion of this. I will go with Bully Ray. I say he could beat John Moxley up. He's a little bit older, but, if you want to go shoot don't matter. Shoot don't really matter. Josh Barnett came out, responded. A lot of fans' reaction on both sides. Bully Ray had a tough guy reputation during the ECW days. I've met him one time, and he was truly a gentleman. It's crazy how this blew up so quick. But there was some some branches to it too that I found kind of weird. We're going to have Dave's response to it first, and then Joey Janela, what he had to say. So here's Dave.
Would you like to do a breakdown of Josh Barnett versus Bully Ray?
Well, I mean, really quick. I mean, the whole thing, obviously, it was Bully trying to get heat off Tommy Dreamer by creating a different controversy, and that's it. I mean, it's, what I think that Josh probably didn't even know that and just thought that Bully was being a dick and challenged him to a fight, and then Bully was just like, oh, it's a work, whatever. I mean, what do you, I don't really, there's no more analysis that you need to do. It was just, somebody's looking for attention, and, and I think did it work? I don't know. I mean, those type of things go away in a day most of the time anyway. Did it change? I don't know. Does it matter? And not in the slightest. It's a non.
I didn't see it as him trying to get the heat off Dreamer with all that stuff going on. I think Dave's just assuming that's the thing that he's trying to get in it. I thought it was just weird that Dave went into that direction instead of really saying, okay, hey, this is what's going on. Barnett went at him. Now, Josh could probably beat up both of them, but we'd have to see on that one. And also, Joey Janela had something to say. There's no bigger fraud on the Jersey Shore than 54-year-old Bubba Dudley sitting around at DJ Haas. I'm not sure what DJ Haas is, or DJs, by himself on Sundays all day buying groups of 22-year-old girls shots, waiting for someone to recognize him. And when they do ask for a picture, he tells them to fuck off. These stories never end. When people find out I'm a wrestler, they go, do you know Mark Bubba Roy? That guy's a fucking loser. Joey Janela is one of those guys that will say whatever he has to say. And somebody retweeted that saying, hey, what does it matter? If he's single, he's 54. If he's getting 22-year-old girls and leaving the hell alone. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of branches on Bully Ray just saying that he could beat up John Moxley. All right, that was number 2, and we're up to number 1. I want to talk first before we get to number 1. I want to talk about. I got a message this week. It was my former co-host was advertising. He always likes to say his is the original and this is, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that he says about that. Look, it's been over almost a year and a half. It was a year in April, a year and a quarter. How about that? He still wants everybody to think, the deal, and I've told the story before. Lance and I sat down. I wanted to do a news story. He wanted to do weird stories. And what was that? Weird of the day or weird news of the day. They used to have something in the newspapers. He wanted to do that. We went with it. Started out with me steering the ship. It ended with him steering the ship for many episodes. Like I said, this is number 99, I'm sorry. But at times he would put something up as number 1, and I was just like, that, it's silly, but, perfect example. Tony Atlas saying Pecker. Come on, guys. Come on. So I promised myself when I started doing this by myself that we were not going to have number 1 as something stupid. So here's our number 1 of the month.
Did you notice Jade Cargill's wig came off on SmackDown? During the Queen of the Ring qualifying match, Charlotte Flair went for a superplex on Jade Cargill. However, when they crashed to the mat, Charlotte's leg accidentally got caught on Jade's wig and pulled it right off. Thankfully, Jade quickly fixed it, kept her composure and carried on with the match like nothing happened. What do you guys think?
Yeah, buddy. We're serious here. I thought that was one of the funniest things. And then someone made this meme with the wig and without it. If you're not watching the video, they put Jade up and then they put Ron Killings up as without the wig. Funny stuff to watch the reaction of the people on the internet as her wig fell off. And I just found it hilarious. It's one of those things where I watched it and I said, hey, that's WTF, baby. That's WTF. All right, guys. That was it. 10 items on WTF News Desk, June 2026, episode 99. Next month, episode 100. All right, guys, you know what I'm fixing to say. Same bad time, same bad channel. On the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, you got to know this by now. I love my mama.